Okay.
Yes.
I guess
Kalsın mı?
we can start.
Okay.
And welcome everyone to our discussion, Salesforce talk. And today with our one of the instructor, Mr. Ali, so we'll be explaining actually answering some of the questions which I have related with Salesforce. And at the same time, before we starting, I can let you know, guys, we have two buttons in your Zoom channel, Zoom. So one of them is chat, another one is Q&A button. So you can either use one of them to ask your questions. So we'll be happy to answer all the Salesforce related questions that you might have in this session. So I want to, first of all, maybe give speech to the Ali so he can explain himself and what he's doing, what's his background related with Salesforce, and just general information maybe about yourself. If you can give us some quick introduction, I will be happy.
Thank you, David. Thank you. So today I will try to tell about my story, my experience, and I will tell you some real experience from my friends. So I will share this kind of things with you. Everybody, welcome. I am Ali. I have 13 years experience in IT market. Before I was working on SAP, maybe you know that one of the biggest company of the world. So last 2 years, I changed my career path to Salesforce. Now I'm working in one of the biggest beverage company as a Salesforce CPQ specialist. And meanwhile, I am instructor in this course. And on the other hand, I'm doing mentorships in the course, and out of the course in a community, I'm doing the mentorships. All of the people, these people are from the non-IT background or someone else. So we have a synergy. We are working together. As I mentioned, I have 13 years experience in the market. Then I have 6 years education on the, I was an industrial engineer. On the other hand, I know the motivation side, coaching side, because as I had several interviews. On the other hand, for a while, I worked as a recruiter. So I will try to answer your questions related with IT market, Salesforce, and everything.
Okay, thank you for that. So I need to add some of the information about you as well. Like if you are guys following any Salesforce community, WhatsApp channel, Telegram channel. So Mr. Ali is very active on that channel and trying to help the people in our community as well to be able to help them to basically start in Salesforce career. And at the same time, like he mentioned, so he was working as a recruiter as well, and helping the companies to find either it can be Salesforce engineers or for different fields as well. And you can at the same time follow the LinkedIn accounts to be able to see the updates that he's sharing about himself. And I would say that since we're working together, I would say that he's very helpful for the people who's starting in the career, and all the time going with basically helping with the people about their every questions that he will be interested. So that's I guess some of the things that I need to mention about myself. Maybe I can give some of the top about information about myself. My name is David. I am the co-founder of Tektorial Academy. So since in the beginning of 2019, so we are giving an education in IT and then teach a lot of people, and we have more than 800 graduated students in our course. So in all the fields that we are providing in Salesforce, we are going to be starting our new batch on February 23. So it will be our third batch. Our first batch is completed successfully. Second batch is getting the development classes currently. And then our new batch in Salesforce, it's starting on February 23. So
January.
January 23. Sorry. Yes, January 23.
2 weeks later.
Yes, after 2 weeks. So let's say one question. I am, let's say, accountant, or I am truck driver. Why I should switch my career to do Salesforce, and why I will be able to learn and improve myself, how it will be working.
Before that, first, let me explain how I changed my career path from, because SAP, one of the biggest company over the world, how I changed my career path. I spent more than 10 years on SAP. Then maybe you know that nowadays IT market is very popular, and most of the people try to learn something related with IT, and they are changing their career path. Even though I am working in the IT side, I was looking some new opportunities. So first of all, maybe you know that data science, it was very popular and everyone is talking about data science and everyone wants to learn this one. So I said that I have time, I have energy, so I wanted to learn about the data science, but I thought that it was a very long way. Then I didn't choose this one. Some of my friends were working as a tester. So I said that if I learn something tester because it is a bit easy, I can work with them. Meanwhile, I heard about the Salesforce. So then I searched about the Salesforce. Then I saw that there are a lot of opportunities in Salesforce. I will spend 6 months for Salesforce. Then, but not, for example, in the testing side, I will be as a tester. But in the Salesforce side, for example, I thought about the data science. If you wish, if you spend your effort, then you can be a specialist as a data science on Salesforce. Or for example, if you want to learn about the machine learnings, you can spend time and you can do machine learning on Salesforce. So what I am looking for outside of the Salesforce, then I can find in the Salesforce. What is the Salesforce? First of all, I will explain this one, then I will answer your question. Salesforce is a customer relationship management tool, and it is the #1 tool all over the world. And with its competitors, there are high difference between Salesforce and the others. So with the Salesforce, with the CRM tools, you are directly focusing on the customer. So you are doing very important job because you are focusing on the customer and you are trying to increase the profit of the company. So this job is very, very important. And as I mentioned, I am doing mentorship with some other people. Believe me that this is right. And most of them are non-IT, they have non-IT background. Housewives, I have some mentee that housewives, some of them coming from the social faculties, some sociology, philosophy, something like this. I have this kind of students. So why they need to choose the Salesforce? As I mentioned, you are touching the customer, you are trying to increase the profit. So it is very important job in the companies. The second reason is that maybe you can check from the Google or some Indeed somewhere, LinkedIn. In USA, nowadays, Salesforce is very, very popular. For two reasons, because there are two parts in Salesforce. If we say that Salesforce tries to become a low code, you will have less coding and you will work in big companies and you will touch on the customers. So you will have good salaries on the market. So because of this reason, there are a lot of people who are doing, I will say that truck driver, housewives, or some teachers. I know that some government officials, they change their career path to the Salesforce. The first reason is that it is easy to learn, but I will explain what does it mean easy, because when we say easy, everyone say, okay, we can come, we can do this one. The second reason is that salary is very high. There are two career opportunity in the Salesforce. One is admin. Admin earns about $80,000 or $90,000 per year, and developers earn more than $120,000. So this is the main two reasons they need to learn or they want to learn about Salesforce.
Okay, so I have actually a couple of follow-up questions related with that. The first thing is, you were mentioning that, yes, we are touching the customer and Salesforce is CRM tool. Let's say when I have a conversation with T-Mobile or the Verizon, for their customer service, they are calling me and then they are getting some of my information, first name, last name, email, phone number. So when I start my career as a Salesforce admin or developer, am I going to be that person that will be calling the customer, or am I going to be the person who is going to be giving a structure for this Salesforce? Like, what will be my main responsibilities as an admin and developer?
This is the main question that always people ask, that no, we won't touch to the real customer. For example, you are not a sales representative. You don't try to sell anything to the customers. You are working at the backside, but you want to provide a good systems and a fast systems to our business people. Who are our business people? Our financial team, our sales team, our support team, service team. So we are trying to provide the best service system. They are using the systems and they are focusing on the customers. We are not touching to the customers, but our job is important because, for example, if they are doing something manually and recursive several times, we are doing automation at the back end. in an easily way. So they earn time. They don't spend their time to do some manual stuff. They directly focus on the customer, how we can earn money from this customer. For example, you said that T-Mobile. T-Mobile will sell something to the customer, but that doesn't enough. They want to do some additional campaigns. They want to sell additional products, additional services. So they want to keep the customer inside, but they need very important, very easy tools for them. As the admin or developer, we are working at the backend side and we are supporting them.
Okay, awesome. So the thing is, let's say, yes, if I want to start the Salesforce career, do I need to have any like IT background, or do I need to have any background in some of the companies in the United States previously to be able to start? What I need to do for the career path change?
First of all, you don't need to have an IT background. As I mentioned, I had several students who were doing the Uber. They were coming to the course from the Uber. They are taking the course and they are trying to their lives. I want to give an example. I have a mentee. She's a housewife and she has 4 children. It's impossible for like a person like this. And nowadays she completed the course. Nowadays she's in the market, but she's successful in this area. She learned and she doesn't have any experience in the real life. She was housewife. She wasn't working before, but now I wish nowadays she will try to take the offer. So as I mentioned, housewife, 4 children, and no background. She graduated from, I think, a social faculty, but she doesn't work anymore.
Awesome. So another question is, let's say I started my career as a Salesforce engineer, admin or developer. So what will be my opportunity to grow in my career? What will happen? Let's say I started today after 5 years. So am I going to be switching to another job position, or am I going to be growing inside the Salesforce?
I think you don't need to switch to another career path because Salesforce is the ocean. If you spend enough effort, then you will take from the Salesforce. As an example, in the courses we are teaching for 6 months. In 6 months is enough to find a job. And half of this in 3 months, you are learning admin part. I will explain what is that and what is developer. In 6 months, you can find a job in USA as with the salaries that I mentioned. Then you don't need to, for example, I was working in SAP and I changed my career path to Salesforce, but I don't need to change to anywhere. This is ocean. And in this bootcamp or course, you will learn a small part. As I mentioned, data science, machine learning. On the other hand, some marketing, some sales positions. For example, I took a bootcamp related with sales side, but now I'm working on the pricing side. It is a really big ocean. When our friends compare with the competitors, they will see that Salesforce is here. The others, Microsoft, SAP, there are big, huge difference between them. So they don't need to change their career. And the baseline they learned in the bootcamps or they learned by themselves, they will use this baseline and they always add on to this knowledge.
Okay. So as I understood right from that conversation, so you mentioned that there is a sales, there's a service, there is a like other clouds, I guess, inside the Salesforce, right? So if you want to work in different fields, so maybe you will be able to learn and then also like different field inside the Salesforce. Because in course, right, we are going to be teaching them to Sales Cloud, that for someone who's selling, but all of them pretty much, I guess, related with, let's say, if you are working for hospitals, hospital is also trying to sell their like patients to some stuff as well, I guess. This is overall main idea is the sales, but on top of that, there will be all the time customer integration inside the Salesforce.
Yes, but I want to say that sales side will be enough. If you learn only sales, that will be enough for your career path. If you wish, you can learn additional topics. On the other hand, you can have a progress in the sales side. Then, especially in 4 years or 5 years, you will be a good developer. You will have a good knowledge. Then they say architect, the top of this IT position. That I think their salary is about $200,000. For other things, for Java, it is very difficult to become an architect in 4 years or 5 years. But in Salesforce, you have this chance. But I
So
want to say that.
why I have that chance that I can be a Salesforce architect in short amount of time and being an architect as a Java developer or test engineers, like let's say.
This is my opinion. They can, or you can search about this one. As I mentioned, Salesforce is a low code. Low code means that they try to create some features without coding. For example, as an admin, you can click next, next, next. Okay, you can do this kind of configuration. This is the simple side. Then on the other hand, we are learning the coding, but this coding is easier than Java or some other languages. It is easier than this one. So you will learn this one and you will have progress in this side. So you will have deep knowledge about this part. So how can I say that? In 4 years, you will have great knowledge, but in Java, it is impossible to learn in 4 years or become an architect or become a specialist in 4 years. So in this Salesforce, it is easy to become architect because the field is simple. Then how can I say that? You will learn easily everything.
So is that your suggestion? Let's say I started to working in Salesforce as a Salesforce developer in Service Cloud. So do you want me to like, what will be your suggestion? So should I continue like to work consistently in Service Cloud that I can be the Service Cloud architect? Or do I need to switch to do like maybe later on Sales Cloud, maybe later on some other clouds that the Education Cloud, something like that?
You don't need other one. You don't need other one. You can directly continue with the Service Cloud, and at the end you can be an architect because you will learn same things. You will learn coding. You will learn some integration, something. Then you can be architect in the Service Cloud. But I say that, for example, I started with Sales Cloud. Then I noticed that pricing is very popular, especially in USA. Pricing is popular. Then I convert my career to the pricing, but converting means that it is not so difficult. For example, you will learn the base in 6 months, but if you want to convert yourself into the other fields, it will take 1 month or 2 months. Or, for example, yesterday I talked with one of my students. She has knowledge only about the sales side, but she got an offer from marketing side. They said that come to us, we will teach you how to use the marketing. But the most important thing is that she has sales knowledge.
Okay, awesome. So let's say we were talking about admin and developer in Salesforce. So what is the difference? What is admin? What is developer in Salesforce? Should I supposed to learn in both of them? And like, what is the market for Salesforce admins and Salesforce developers?
Especially, we spent 6 months for both of them. About 3 months for admin side, 3 months for development side. Admin side means that I mentioned previously, you don't write any code. For example, I'm working as an admin. I don't know any coding side. I don't write any coding. I always do everything with click, click, next, next. Okay, this is the declarative side, a configuration side. And if you wish, you can stop in this third month, then you can go to the market as an admin. But my recommendation is continue 3 months, then 3 months still, then you will learn that coding side. Coding side is important. You will learn a language similar to Java, some JavaScript, HTML, some page designing. You will learn this kind of things. In the market, you can find as a job as an admin, but there is a lot of opportunities for developers. This is the first step. The second step, as I mentioned, you will learn the logic of the coding, algorithm, programming logic. So later, you want to change your career path to Java coding or some Python coding or something else, it will be easy for you because you will have the main logic of the coding, then you can learn other things. So I will say again, you can find job as an admin, but you can find as a developer. But most of my students or my friends are developers because they learned it's very easily.
Okay, awesome. So the overall, you recommend from students to learn both of them, even though they are able to just only go to the market as an admin. So there are a couple of reasons. So the one thing, that will be more job opportunities, I guess. The second reason, that will be like higher salaries.
Yes, exactly.
I guess another part is that will be the more growing opportunities as a developer, as I understood.
Yes, exactly. But on the other hand, I have a lot of friends who are only admins. They don't want to learn coding. They dislike coding. If they wish, they can learn. And
So
I want,
yeah, when people started to work in the companies, what happens? Like the company, mostly they ask them to do both of them, admin and developer, or it will be just only special. Okay, so if they're admin, they're doing admin, or if they're developer, they're doing only developer.
it depends on the company. In some companies, they have separate positions. For example, they have 2 admins, 3 developers, 1 business analyst, 1 QA tester. All the positions are different. And in some companies, they say, okay, start as admin. These are the small companies. You are starting as an admin, but sometimes they are giving the additional stuff. So, but even though you don't know the developer side, they give chance to you. Okay, this is my task. Please try to do this. I want to highlight that in our job, Google or Googling is very important, because if you don't know anything, you can Google, you can apply, and you can see the results.
Okay. I guess nowadays we need to add ChatGPT as well.
Yes, exactly. Yes, ChatGPT. We are asking our task to the ChatGPT. Sometimes he's answering, or it's answering very well the questions.
And yeah, we also like teach actually the students that how they will be able to prepare their resume using ChatGPT as well. So definitely there are a lot of advantages of that. So okay, for that one, let's say, what is the demand on the market for Salesforce engineers? And another thing is actually, when I finish the course, 6 months of course, what will happen, or like which companies I will be working after finishing the course? Like what kind of companies will be hiring me? So this Salesforce application is for whom, which companies?
Okay. First of all, I want to say that for Salesforce, market is high demanded. When you check the LinkedIn, Indeed, somewhere else, when you check the Java positions, you will see several people, hundreds of people, they are applying to these jobs. But when you check the Salesforce site, there isn't so much people who apply these kind of positions. On the other hand, nowadays, it is very, very popular in USA, especially in USA. On the other hand, Salesforce says that in 2 years, they will have more than 3 million job opportunities. So it is growing faster. Especially in USA, it is very popular now. And most of the people, I had some QA friends, they changed their career path to Salesforce, they learn Salesforce. And nowadays in Europe also, Salesforce is getting popular. First of all, it gets popular in USA, then other countries starts to use this Salesforce so much. As I mentioned, there are a lot of opportunities. Don't believe me, directly my friends can go to the Google, they can check the advertisement related with Salesforce.
Yes. Okay. So actually, I just searched Salesforce administrator in the United States as a job positions. It gives in LinkedIn, it gives around 288,000 open jobs. When I search as a Salesforce admin, Salesforce developer, there are around 30,000 open jobs in the United States only.
I want to say something. When you take this course, when you become a developer, if you wish, you can work as an admin, you can work as a developer. On the other hand, there are some additional positions. For example, business analyst. It is not most technically, they use their communication skills and they are a bridge between business people and the IT people. Or on the other hand, additional positions. If you wish, you can say that, okay, I learned this program, but I want to work in business side. So you can become a salesperson, you can become a marketing person, you can manage these kind of things. Don't think only IT people. And on the other hand, I will say that when you take this course, if you don't have any IT background, you will be an IT guy. This means that you can work on Salesforce for several positions, even though you can work for some other IT positions. For example, I can give an example. One of my students took Salesforce bootcamp, but then nowadays she's applying for all IT jobs. And in the last interview, it wasn't related with Salesforce, but they said that, okay, we are a startup. Now we want to establish a position. In this position, you will manage this team. You will help us to grow us. It is not directly related with Salesforce, and it was a good opportunity for her.
So it's pretty much will be opening an IT career for you. It
Yes.
can be in all the fields, but definitely the Salesforce is one of them. I guess the tools that we are also teaching in Salesforce, like CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. This is actually the tools specifically for front-end developers that they are using. So they can
Exactly.
easily learn some front-end framework like React or Angular framework. With this knowledge that which they have, this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, they can become a front-end developer, because also there will be the front-end development inside Salesforce as well, which they will be also utilize this knowledge at the same time. Plus Apex, right? In Salesforce, we are teaching Apex. It is 99%. And also when I see some resumes for Salesforce engineers, they don't put Apex, they say Java knowledge, because the Apex and Java is pretty much the same to each other. Yeah, that's the great, I guess, the advantage. They will be learning from different fields in Salesforce. They will be becoming like one of the IT professionals, I guess.
But I will say that I think when they started to learn about Salesforce, they don't need to look for full stack developer. They don't need to become a Java developer. Salesforce field, Salesforce market will be enough for them.
Yeah, definitely. So the one thing is, let's say I want to start my Salesforce career. How it is, like the learning process? Is it easy or is it difficult? Yes, you were actually mentioning previously it's easy, but what it means that easy? What will be the expectation from me when I start the learning the Salesforce?
Okay. I said it is easy, but I will say that it is easy, but it is not easy. What does it mean? If you have time, because it is very important, you have to spend enough time. If you spend your enough time, as I mentioned, housewives, I have several examples like this. They learned this one, but the main property of them, main character of them, they spend enough time. So if they spend enough time on Salesforce, everyone can learn Salesforce. This part is important because I have some students, they started Salesforce, but they didn't spend enough time. What does it mean enough time? Especially you will have 5 or 6 days lessons with 3 hours. But after that, you additionally, you need to study 3 hours by yourself, 6 hours. And it will be very intensive program. You will learn a lot of things. But what will happen at the end? Because sometimes people say that, oh, 6 hours is very high. But think that salary is very high. On the other hand, this is the real example. I had 6 years education. I have 13 years experience in the market. But if someone complete this kind of bootcamp, this is the real life. And if they start as a developer, we are on the same level. So what does it mean? You will spend 6 months, additional 2 months or something else, then you will be at the same level of my 19 years. This is real because I have several friends like this. So I don't know who spent time and who couldn't learn Salesforce, coding, or something else. But the most important thing, they need to focus. They need to continue with this one. I want to say additional things. When they took boot camps, they will take very intensive knowledge and they will be at the same level with me. On the other hand, they will have mentorships. This is the very important side because the motivation is very important in this courses or learning anything, because I saw several students, they started, but they say, oh, I cannot continue. It's very difficult. No, it is not difficult. They need only motivation, and mentorship is very important. So most of the powerful side of these boot camps, they provide mentorships. The third thing is that they try to help you that think that you completed a 6 months boot camp, but your resume is not good. I saw several examples. They graduated from very good schools, but when you look at their resumes, it seems like someone graduated from elementary school because it's very empty. They didn't write anything. I'm saying that why you don't write anything? I don't know what I will write inside this one. I am asking, did you do any project in the school? Yes. So why you didn't write this kind? As I mentioned, they graduated very good schools, but their resumes are very empty. So they will learn how to create their resumes very well because it's very important. The recruiter will check the resume. Okay, I want to contact with you, or then directly they will skip you. The other thing is that they will learn answer questions in the interviews. It's very important because I know a lot of people, they have good knowledge. I want to give this example. One of my friend would have interview with Microsoft, and she has 15 years experience in IT market. But she said that let's do a mock interview. We start to do the mock interview. She didn't tell anything about herself. I will highlight 15 years experience, and she didn't highlight anything. I said that, did you have experience on cloud? Yes. Did you have management experience? Yes. Did you have this kind of experience? Yes. Then I said that, why you didn't explain this kind of things to me? So you will learn to explain this kind of things. Then recruiter will say, okay, you have experience, you have good knowledge, then we want to hire you.
I guess, yeah, this is one of the important things for the boot camps that, like let's say in our case, we did actually for Salesforce students 3 classes, actually total 9 hours, just only for the market preparation, resume, LinkedIn, interviews, recruiting process, and everything. Because, like you mentioned, this is important. Yes, you'll learn some technical things. However, when you go to the market, you need to know how to talk with the people, how to talk with recruiters. Like, most important one is how to sell yourself. This is all about selling. While selling something, we do not actually bring up to the defects on the tools that we are selling, right? We all the time bring up the important functionalities, important things, important features. This is same for ourselves as well. Resume is one of the important thing where the recruiters will be take a look at the first time when they see your applications. Second thing, they will ask your maybe LinkedIn profile, that they need to see the LinkedIn profile. Everything actually is combined all together for the professional people, that you need to know how to prepare them as one Salesforce engineers on the market, how the people are creating their profiles, and what you can do for that. I guess definitely in the course, step by step, so you will be learning all those implementations, tools, the necessary things that it will be making you successful Salesforce engineers, where definitely it will be helping you to find a job as early as possible. From out of that, let's say, coming to the end, maybe what resources that will be available while taking the course, or additional to that course, there will be any other resources that I need to learn, improve myself? How can I stay up to date on the market?
Okay. First of all, the course content will be enough. But additionally, we recommend that you can search on YouTube. And on the other hand, Salesforce has very good training platforms, very scientific training platforms, and they use gamification. When you learn something from Salesforce, it makes you happy. It is enjoyable for you. On the other hand, Salesforce has a great community, forums. So if you have any question, if you want to learn anything, you ask them. People try to answer these questions as volunteer. So bootcamp is enough. And our community, I say community, also we say that family, and Salesforce say Ohana. We are Ohana, a family. Then we support each other. As I mentioned, I'm in a community, very good, big community. In this big community, for example, if someone learns some additional coding, he comes and says, hey, I learned this one, I can teach you. So, or someone asks questions, other one answering these kind of questions. And in these communities, has great progress.
Awesome. So there is one question, maybe I can answer that question as well. So it says that how many batches completed so far, and how is their job hunting going? So this is going to be which we are starting on January 23. It will be our 3rd batch. Our first batch started, I guess, almost 7 months ago. And so they finished our first batch. They just went to the market. So they are actually, some of them went to the market, some of them, they are still preparing their resume and finishing up their resume LinkedIn profiles. So they will be start to apply. And the second batch they completed 3 months of course. So they are now started the development part of the Salesforce environment. Other
I
than that,
can say additional, sorry, I can say additional things. Our students are newly on the market, but this is, I completed my 7th batch. I have a training career. So I had several students who started to work in big companies. David asked me this question, but I forgot to answer. Deloitte, one of the biggest company, IBM, one of the biggest company, Amazon, one of the biggest company. These are the companies that I know that people started to work as a Salesforce admin and developer. It's not important. There are big companies, there are small companies, middle companies, there are a lot of opportunities. The important thing is that the salary is high. I have several students. I can give several examples that they has offer in the market. I want to highlight one thing. Nowadays, there is economical crisis in the all over the world. So there are some layoffs in the companies, but meanwhile, one of my students was in the market for 6 months. Last week, she got the offer. And the other student was in the market in 4 months because they had some preparation steps for the market. At the beginning, she was upset because she said that she couldn't find any job. She got one offer. 1 month later, she got the second offer from the market, Salesforce. So market is very dynamic and it depends on you. If you spend enough effort, if you follow the bootcamp, if you follow your mentors, then it will be easy for you to get this kind of offers.
yeah, there will be definitely some difficulties, and also there will be some opportunities as well. And we, like you mentioned, yes, Salesforce is easy, and also at the same time, it's not easy. Like it's all the fields. It's not specifically for Salesforce, but I mean, this is what I observe from the students who's on the market all the time. Even like, let's say in the beginning of COVID, the companies stopped the hiring people in the beginning of COVID. We had some students that who found a job. And so now, let's say the economical crisis, so still there are jobs on the market which is available. Still people are getting basically interviews, scheduling an interview. So there will be some maybe doors is closing for you, but another doors definitely will open in another company because people, they have still customers. Still like the T-Mobiles and some necessary things, Verizon or Bank of America, they have still customers that they're supposed to talk. And since this is the customer relationship, people still like hiring. And also that will be, as I mentioned, the opportunities is there. And as long as you are good, so sometimes my friends are asking like, how's the market? Is it hot? And am I able to find a job? So what will happen? So these kind of things. And then I told them, if you are hot, market is hot for you all the time. If you are good, so there will be all the time job opportunities for you that you will be able to find a job. This is what we are aiming at school, that to make our students basically ready for the market as much as possible, which they will be able to learn all the tools, all the necessary things, resume, technical, non-technical things, and which they will be able to find the job as soon as possible when they go to the market. But overall, definitely the important part is to have the motivations from beginning to at the end. And yes, during the classes, there will be some topics that you are going to be learning, improving yourself, and then adding on top of your knowledges. But overall, like we need to continue to apply to the companies. We need to learn new things, improve ourselves. So it will be the some process that you will be learning and improving yourself anytime during this the learning process. IT, maybe some people they don't like, but I personally like it. Let's say I am also coming from the different background, but in IT, let's say I like that you are learning every time new things. And it is not stable, it is dynamic, like you mentioned. So there is all the time growing and learning opportunities. The more things that you learn, you know that you are getting fresh on the market. So this is all the time keeps me motivated for myself, and learning new things every day, it also motivates me. Instead of, let's say in math, 2 + 2, it is not changing. And all the time, it is same. But in IT, there is all the time growing opportunities, learning new things, improving yourself, new technologies, even simple application WhatsApp. So when we start using WhatsApp first time, we were able to send only the text messages. Later on, they added like sending a picture. Later on, they added voice messages. Later on, they added functionalities to call the people, video call the people, stories in WhatsApp. There are many things, and it is growing all the time. Salesforce is also the same. It is growing. And technology is also same. It is growing, new things, new topics, so that we are improving ourselves and adding maybe in our curriculum at the same time to help the people to find a job in IT. I guess, let me check one more time. I guess we do not have other question. So if you want to have, if you have something that you want to add, so you can also add.
Oz is asking one more question.
Oh, okay, yeah. So for the, can we have a chat with one of the who completed on the market, or who's on the market, who's completed or on the market? I don't know, like how I can give their information. Also, you are asking that question multiple times, but I don't know how I will be able to give their information to you.
If you have any question, we can answer, because as I mentioned, I was in another career path. I had several students. Yeah, on the other hand, if you wish, on the LinkedIn or somewhere else, you can find the students or you can discuss with them. Maybe later we can ask them if you want to connect with them. We can ask to the students if they want to talk. Then maybe we can help you about this one.
Okay, and good. Thank you so much, guys, for attending today's session. I hope it was helpful to learn more about the Salesforce and improve yourself. If you have still questions, you can reach out to us from our social media, and also like from our website, that you can call us or send an email to us from our social media.
And
Okay.
one more thing I want to say, the mentorship is very important. Our powerful side is mentorships, because also they are very experienced in the real life, in the market, and they are good developers. So I know that they are follow the students very well. If they have missing points, they are have review sessions. They have an Excel. On the Excel, they are asking, "Hey, Oz, did you complete this one?" Yes, okay. Yeah, they are in every step they are following you. And in the boot camps, you will lose your motivation, because sometimes it will be very hard. In the day life, you will be busy, and at evenings you will taking this kind of boot camps. So motivation is the most important thing. As I mentioned, I had several students from all over the world, in USA, Germany, UK, Turkey, or anywhere else. The big problem is that motivation. And I talked with them, and we had some sessions with them. Believe me that this is right. One of my students, housewife with 4 children, and today she slept at 8 o'clock in the morning, because she's waiting for children go to the sleep, and at night she's studying. So I want to say that for motivation, pay attention to your mentors. Assam is asking some questions. Have CS degrees? I am one of the students. I'm not, CS means that computer science. I'm industrial engineer. And as I mentioned, I'm working on the market for 13 years. And then I have experience. I'm working in Coca-Cola Assam as a Salesforce admin and CPQ specialist. So as I mentioned, I had 7 batch before, completed 7 batch. The other, yeah, especially we are experienced on our field.
And yeah, the Mrs. Sena, she has a computer science degree.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, she has a computer science. Our developer, Salesforce developer teacher, has a computer science degree. Okay, and good.
Any question? Anything else? Welcome, anonymous attendee. Okay. Assam, sorry, it was Assam. Okay. Any question? As I mentioned, I'm working in the market, independent from the bootcamp or something else. I can try to answer your questions related with market, because I'm working in Coca-Cola. So I can answer your question. And I know the people who are working in Deloitte, IBM. Last week, my friend got offer from IBM. She was a housewife. Well, why I'm saying this, especially housewife, because they don't have any experience in the real market, but when they spend these times, they can get this offer.
Yes.
Thank you for participating and attending.
Okay, thank you so much.
I wish good luck.
Have a great day. Bye bye.